The fatal stabbing victim in Woodlands has been identified as a teenage girl.
I am really shocked that it's an actual homicide right across the street from my house.
What the investigation has revealed so far. The Calgary high school football player is tackling stage 4 cancer.
Just the fight alone in this kid is, something to behold.
How his friends and family are coming together in support of his fight. And calling all book lovers.
When you find it, it feels so good because it's like a needle in a haystack sometimes in there.
The Calgary Reads big book sale is here and the demand is high.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Jacqueline Wilson.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Police are investigating an assault with a weapon in the southeast community of Auburn Bay. Around 5:50 p.m., officers responded to reports that a person was stabbed near Auburn Meadows Boulevard and Auburn Meadows Link. Police taped off an alleyway and they were searching the area. The victim was transported to hospital in serious condition. There's no word yet on a suspect or suspects. And police have confirmed the city's latest homicide victim is 16-year-old Angeline Boucher. She was stabbed in Woodlands yesterday morning. Boucher was found near the back alley of a strip mall in front of a nearby home. Investigators believe that Boucher and someone else were involved in an altercation at 24th Street and Woodview Drive. Police think it was targeted and they think the suspect is still on the loose. The incident has scared neighbors.
It hurt for the family and the people involved and everything, but it's weird when it hits so close to home, right?
We figured it was going to peak, the violence, the theft, the things that go on in the community. But yeah, I am really shocked that it's an actual homicide right across the street from my house.
Police are asking residents to search their properties for a possible edged weapon, which might have been dumped there. A Calgary man is still in shock after 2 men assaulted him unprovoked while walking his 17-year-old to the bus stop last weekend. The family is hopeful that speaking out, it would lead to charges against the 2 attackers, who police say have not been caught yet. Tyson Fedor reports.
It's a large gash to Kelvin Butler's head, one he did not see coming.
I'm usually pretty cognizant of these things, right? And there was no alarms going off. They were talking, we were talking, and then as we passed each other, they just jumped and they just started attacking.
Last Saturday around 10 p.m., Kelvin walked his son Nico to the bus stop in Forest Lawn on 17th Ave Southeast. Nico was to meet friends and go to a sleepover, but Kelvin says he was attacked unprovoked by 2 men.
I lost my balance and I got on the ground. Then the 2 of them were like over top of me and they punched me like 5-6 times. But I got lucky, right? Because they quit. If they didn't have quit, or if they hadn't, if they'd have kept going, once I was down, I was done, right? They had me dead to rights.
Nico ran ahead and out of the area, dialing 911 for help.
I want them to get caught and for them to get charged rightfully with the charges they deserve.
Nico says the event has sparked panic attacks and a fear to go anywhere on his own.
I wanted something to drink, but I was too scared to even leave the house. I had to get my dad to walk me there. It's literally right across the street.
Police say they responded to the 5100 block of 17th Avenue Southeast for reports of an unwarranted assault on a man in his 50s. Investigators say the 2 men are described as Indigenous, both wearing black clothing. One is tall with long black hair, the other a medium build with spiky black hair. The family says nothing like this has happened in the 10 years they have lived in the area.
We were doing the due diligence and walking him to the bus where his buddy was going to go meet him on the bus to take him to the rest of the sleepover.
Police conducted an extensive search of the area but were unable to locate the suspects. Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
Anyone with information, CCTV or dashcam footage from any of the incidents we've talked about tonight are asked to contact police, or you can submit an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers. Well, the girlfriend of the man who is suspected to have died after jumping into the water at Johnston Canyon on Friday is sharing her grief and her hopes. Nicolette Bambi says the 25-year-old Pavlo Shemchuk was an outdoor enthusiast. He brought light and laughter into the world. He loved hiking and camping and boxing, and he was working towards a doctorate in physical therapy. Shemchuk was from Ukraine but moved to the U.S. He was on a trip with his cousin and his best friend when he jumped into the water, but he didn't resurface. Due to hazardous conditions, the search effort was called off on Monday and the area reopened to tourists. The family is pushing for the search to resume so that someone else doesn't find him, causing more trauma.
I think it's just tough for everyone, his family, his friends, to just be waiting for the next steps. We just really want some more help and support and options as far as what we can do to find him quickly.
A GoFundMe in memory of him has been raised already over $17,000. Well, at least 568 people have now been issued cease and desist letters from Elections Alberta related to the elections list leak. Officials are trying to stop the spread of personal information of 3 million voters as some Albertans grapple with an increased threat to their safety. One of them is former Premier Johnston Canyon. Tim Brooke reports.
In mid-April, separatist group the Centurion Project was excited to show off its newest tool, which allowed members to find the personal information of any Alberta voter. They used a prominent name as their first example.
And I've had no shortage of threats from people with those views over the past few years. But when I saw that they specifically brought up and shared my name, I regarded that as borderline incitement.
Former Premier Johnston Canyon is speaking out after his home address and phone number were leaked. He's unsurprisingly not happy.
I'll be blunt. I hope that there are serious consequences for those responsible and those involved. I think a lot of these separatist organizations have been playing fast and loose with the rules for far too long, getting away with too much.
Elections Alberta has confirmed to CTV News that at least 23 people were given full copies of the electors list, and another 545 people accessed it through an online tool. Letters have been issued telling those people to immediately cease and desist the use of any list that may be in their possession, including any partial list or any information derived from the list. The UCP government has so far ignored calls for a public inquiry.
I think we have to be very cognizant that we have to allow the RCMP, working with other law enforcement, Elections Alberta, to do their job.
Kenny tells us he's taking added security precautions and pursuing legal action. He likely won't be alone.
Well, there's definitely precedent for bringing this kind of case, and I would be pretty surprised if someone didn't file a class action on this.
The leak has also sparked new conversations around list access. Some question why fringe political groups like the Republican Party of Alberta receive the information in the first place.
Maybe if you're going to get access to the full voter list, you should have to put out a good behavior bond, $1 million or something.
I'm absolutely open to looking at recommendations for how to improve those privacy protections for Albertans.
Alberta's privacy commissioner said Thursday it too will investigate the leak. The Centurion Project did not respond to a request for an interview. Tim Brooke, CTV News, Calgary.
MLA Scott Sinclair has been welcomed back into the UCP caucus. The MLA for Lesser Slave Lake was kicked out of caucus last year after speaking out against the provincial budget. He has been sitting as an independent, but yesterday in the legislature, Sinclair apologized. The UCP says it believes that Sinclair has reflected on the expectations of a caucus MLA and demonstrated renewed commitment to the party. The Calgary Committee has endorsed a plan to get rid of a free fare transit zone downtown. After nearly 24 public speakers, they urged councillors to keep the free zone in Calgary's core. A committee still decided to recommend scrapping it. City officials say the train line from downtown West Kirby to City Hall is a common area for disorder and safety concerns. Removing the zone would give transit officers lawful authority to remove people that are causing issues. Administration says that making riders pay to ride the train through that zone could increase safety. It could free up train capacity during peak hours and increase revenue. But transit advocates and some businesses are against the idea, saying it creates more barriers for people who want to get around downtown. If council votes to remove the free fare zone, it's estimated it would generate $5 million per year.
I think we're at a point where we do need to evaluate it. I'm leaning towards actually removing the fare-free zone. We have issues with safety and enforcement.
And that means less people on our transit platforms that are just riders. That means less people on our trains that are just riders. There's a safety that comes in community and all of us riding together that will be lost if we have less people riding in our free fares.
Council will still need to debate and finalize the decision at a future meeting. No one was injured in a house fire in northeast Calgary this morning.
The origin of the fire that we responded to was in the basement area. So after that quick knockdown, that's where the investigator will be looking into and just gathering all the information at this point.
Crews were called to a home in the 5900 block of Saddlehorn Drive Northeast just after 7:30 a.m. They found smoke pouring out of the basement. Firefighters were able to put out the fire quickly, but traffic was temporarily stopped on Saddlehorn Drive while they worked. Everyone inside was able to get out safely. And 2 people and their pets managed to safely escape a fire in a duplex today. Firefighters responded to it just before noon on Blackthorn Road Northeast. The 2 people in the home were treated on scene for smoke inhalation. The fire started on the stove and then it spread into the attic. It was put out quickly by fire crews. Well, it was another beautiful day today.
Yeah, we're doing
My
all
dog
right.
really enjoyed it. Is she also going to enjoy tomorrow?
Yes. So the one thing about tomorrow is still a very nice day on tap for us, but it won't be as bright as what we had today. Today we had a lot of sunshine. Tomorrow we'll have more cloud cover with occasional sunny breaks. 11 degrees at 8 a.m. And then by 10 o'clock tomorrow night, that's when we run into some rainfall. So Friday night through Saturday morning, it will be rainy and we'll pick up to 4 millimeters of rain. Tomorrow's high, 20 degrees. Your full forecast just ahead.
Sounds good. Thanks, Danielle. Well, a Calgary high school football player is tackling stage 4 cancer. How his friends and family are coming together to help next.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
A community is coming together in support of a high school football player. Kane Hart is battling non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. It's taken away his ability to play the sport he loves, but not his enduring spirit. Moses Waldo has more.
There is no other place Kane Hart would rather be than on the football field.
Hitting the quarterback's honestly the best part, but it's honestly like just the team and the family that you get from it.
But the 17-year-old is tackling a different opponent. Stage 4 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
My bones are not healthy and not strong. It's really hard for me because that's one of the biggest outlets I have for my mental health and just me. Yeah, so I got a blood infection. So they had to pull out my PICC line.
Diagnosed in February, Hart has undergone extensive treatment, often brutal. Reminders on his arms showing what he's gone through.
Just the fight alone in this kid is something to behold. He's been so strong with it.
Thursday marked the first time he's had in-person classes since going through treatment in over 100 days.
Well, he's very popular, just like in general. So everyone's been saying hi to him, seeing him again. He's like gotten so much love and support.
Despite the pain, those close to Hart speak about his selflessness, both on and off the field.
It's an uphill battle for this young man, but you know what? He's worried, selflessly worried about people around him. I'm extremely honored that he reached out, that I was one of his first phone calls.
My birthday was recently and he got me a gift, even though he's like doing everything, like he's been battling everything, and that was really nice. And then seeing him in person, getting to hang out with him today and the day before, it was just really good.
It's those kind of acts that had the football community in Calgary and a pair of local businesses rallying behind the Henry Wisewood student, setting up a fundraiser at Shouldice Park.
If my family was going through this, I would want the community to step up and help us out. So, I believe in karma. What goes around comes around. So there's never enough good karma to accumulate.
It takes a village. We've found out we have a whole city. It's amazing.
Hart will continue his chemo until August. In the meantime, he'll enjoy every minute he gets to spend outside the hospital and not just at the fundraiser.
I'm attending mine and my girlfriend's grad, hopefully, if everything goes right.
Moses Wildo, CTV News, Calgary.
Well, the barbecue fundraiser will be held at Shouldice Park from 4:30 until 9 p.m. Birdies and Spalumbos are donating the food for the event, and all money raised will go to Hart's post-secondary aspirations. Well, Alberta's chief mountain border crossing opens May 15th for the summer season. It's located on Highway 6 at the boundary of Waterton Lakes National Park. At 1,700 meters, Chief Mountain has the highest elevation of all border crossings in Canada. And because of the harsh winters, it only operates seasonally from May until September. Canada Border Services says more than 56,000 travelers used that crossing last year. Well, between the high price of fuel and fertilizer, farmers are facing a steep increase in the cost to get a crop to harvest. And that could trickle down to shoppers later this fall, though one expert believes the true impact of the increase, it might not be felt until the next growing season. Jeremy Thompson reports.
Halfway between Kalmar and Thorsby is a long way from the Strait of Hormuz. But the conflict that's impacting gas prices is also influencing the cost of fertilizer. About 1/3 of the world's supply travels through that waterway.
There are products that have gone up more than 50%. Other products, that regular 10 to 15%. So there are drastic changes. It does hit the bottom line and take right out of the profit margin.
Farmers like Joe Benderitis buy fertilizer by the truckload. Any change in price can make tens of thousands of dollars difference to their input costs. Most grain farmers around here use two types of fertilizer.
The anhydrous ammonia is locally produced within Alberta, and it can be produced at a rate that farmers are using it.
The nitrogen is pumped into the soil. Granular fertilizer pellets are also used, loaded into this hopper with seed. That product is seeing the biggest price spike. Benderitis ordered his pellets back in December, before the strait closed. Farm Credit Canada estimates more than 70% of farmers did the same.
The longer it goes on, it seems like we'll have more fertilizer supply issues going forward. And if it lasts, a couple more months, that starts to impact then fertilizer prices for 2027 plant.
That means consumers may not see higher prices until fall 2027. Still, senior economist Lee Anderson says farmers are feeling the pinch. Meanwhile, Benderitis says he actually likes what he sees in the futures market for the price of barley, wheat, and canola.
I have my product on hand. We're going to get our crop in. And I think most farmers are going to still have a great season.
He says the shorter-term cost pressure in agriculture is fuel. Near Kalmar, Jeremy Thompson, CTV News.
All right, stay with us. Danielle Savoni is back. She's along with her Skywatch weather forecast next.
Well, today was a toasty one, of course. We had a really nice day with lots of sunshine, relatively calm winds. In southern Alberta, 30 to 40 kilometer per hour gusts. 21 was the high in Calgary today. A normal daytime high for the city is 15 degrees. And we were in those lower 20s, Medicine Hat, Lethbridge, Brooks, up through Drumheller. So about 5 degrees on average in southern Alberta above normal today. And we're looking at getting a lot of daytime highs in those 20s over these next 10 days. So a lot of warmth to come here. We did have that instability earlier today, leading to some showers in the city and to the west of the city, and then some thunderstorm activity earlier today in the southwest corner. We should not see that for tomorrow, but we will get it tomorrow night. So I'm going to give you the timeline here. For tomorrow morning, there will be more cloud cover throughout the day tomorrow compared to what we had today. But there will be some sunny breaks. The rain shouldn't arrive in the city until about 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow night, and then it will last throughout the overnight hours and in through Saturday morning as well, and then clear out Saturday afternoon, leading the way for like a really nice weekend actually. And we do need some moisture. All right, so for tomorrow, once again, mainly cloudy with some sunny breaks. By 10 o'clock tomorrow night, 1 to 2 millimeters of rain will start to fall, and that will carry into Saturday morning. Should clear out around 11 a.m. to between 11 a.m. and the noon hour on Saturday, and then the clouds will start to clear out early in the afternoon. 18 degrees is your high for Saturday, getting up to 20 again for Sunday with a mix of sun and cloud. When we look at that 10-day trend, the warmest days out of the next 10 days should fall on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of next week, when we range between that 22, 23 degree range.
Okay, thanks so much, Danielle. Well, are you in need of a great book? You might be in luck. The Calgary Reads big book sale is underway. We'll have details after the break. For 22 years, the Calgary Reads Big Book Sale has been a staple with the Calgary book lovers. It attracts tens of thousands of Calgarians to the City Curling Club on the hunt for that special find or just to stock up for the summer reads. As Kevin Green reports, the money all goes to help improve children's literacy.
Opening day of the Calgary Reads Big Book Sale. Doors opened at noon, but the lineup started forming before 9 a.m. Eager buyers hoping the books on their wish list would still be there.
And when you find it, it feels so good because it's like a needle in a haystack sometimes in there.
Thursday's opening day was reserved for the volunteers who helped collect, sort, and set up the event.
I just like to give my time to good causes, and I'm a big book reader. So, of course, I like to check out all the books that are available.
Even though they were guaranteed early access, many volunteers say the rush still felt like the book sale version of Black Friday.
There's kind of a psychological drive to get here, to get that best book that someone else could get.
There's even a collectibles area filled with historic books, first editions and rare printings, some worth thousands of dollars, but selling for less.
We have some first editions, Canadian and otherwise. We have some signed first editions.
Organizers say more than 1,200 volunteers helped prepare the sale with close to 250,000 books now on the tables.
My best moments at the book sale is when a little person comes in, grabs a book, and we call it stop, drop, and read. They literally sit down and they open the book, and that's what we're all about, right?
Money raised through the sale goes toward early literacy programs in Calgary, stewarded by the Rotary Club of Calgary.
So if a kid can't read at grade level by grade 3, they will begin to fall behind. By grade 3, they should be reading to learn. As opposed to the early years, they're learning to read.
The big book sale runs through May 17th at the Calgary Curling Club. Kevin Green, CTV News, Calgary.
Tomorrow and through the weekend, you will need to book a time to get into that book sale. But after that, it opens without a need for a reservation. Well, the newest members of the Blood Tribe Police Service are now out on patrol on 4 legs. K9 Fergus is reporting for duty. The 8-year-old German Shepherd is the first service dog for the department. He's been joined by 3-year-old Grizzly. Both dogs are trained for tracking suspects, finding missing people, and apprehending criminals. But that's not all.
Fergus can help us with fire investigations. He can tell us he's trained on 14 different ignitable liquids. He can tell us if any of those have been used to start a fire or accelerate a fire. And then Fergus has drug detection capability, so he's trained to detect fentanyl, cocaine, methamphetamine, heroin, that sort of thing.
Well, the Blood Tribe Police Service would like to grow the K9 unit by another 4 officers. I always like dog stories. All right, have a wonderful night. Thank you so much for joining us.